I'm going to walk you through how to connect Knowi to an Amazon Redshift database, run your first query, and then turn that data into a dashboard. To connect to your data source, first go to Queries, and then select New Data Source. You can search for the data source that you want to connect to at the top here. And you'll want to give each data source that you're connecting to a unique name. The host name is the Redshift endpoint or IP address that Knowi will use to reach your cluster. And next is the port. This is the port your Redshift cluster is on, most commonly 5439 unless you've customized it. For database name, enter the specific database within your Redshift cluster that you want to query. And the schema name is optional, but adding it can help scope your queries to a specific schema, especially if your database contains multiple schemas. Input your username and password. And database properties are optional, and they let you pass in extra connection settings, such as enabling SSL or other Redshift-specific options if your environment requires them. If you want to write back to your Redshift database, you can select Writable Destination. If your Redshift database is behind a firewall, you can connect through an SSH tunnel. And text schema lets Knowi look for connections between different tables in your query. Once we've got our parameters filled out, we'll test that connection. And then we'll press save, and now we can start building our query. In the query builder, we'll see the different tables available to us in our Redshift cluster that we've connected to. And you can expand any of these to see the different fields and the different data types within these fields. You can drag and drop the table you want to build your query on, or you can select it from the drop-down menu. And then from here, you'll just build out your query using the drop-down menus. So right now I'm just selecting different fields that I want to show in my query. And you could preview your data set as you build it. You could also build out your query in editor mode. So you'll see that Knowi's generated a query automatically based on the selections I've made in the visual builder. So if you have a query, you could just drag and drop it into this editor mode instead of building it out in the visual builder. So we'll go ahead and select the whole table here. Under data strategy, we can specify what kind of query we want to run. So a direct query means that anytime we open up a dashboard or a widget tied to this data set, the query will rerun. We could choose run once, which means that the data will be pulled as is and run one time. Or we could set up our query to run on a scheduled interval. And you can customize this based on your needs. Lastly, we'll give our data set a name. And if you want, you can write a short description about what your data set is on, or you could assign it to a category. In the data overview page, we'll see that we've built our query, we've got our first data set based on that query, and our first widget. So with this one query and data set, we can build out as many dashboards and visualizations as we want. Knowi's made it really quick to build a dashboard because AI is integrated in the process. So this means that you can ask questions of your data in plain English, and the AI model will generate widgets and visualizations based on those questions. So for instance, maybe I want to know which 10 countries contribute the most to revenue, and also what is the daily total revenue. When our dashboard loads, we've got 4 widgets. So we've got one default widget with the full raw data set. And then we've also got this AI recommendations widget. So our AI model has analyzed our data set and generated this list of 5 findings and associated action items based on each finding. And then we've got one widget for each question that I asked. So these are the top 10 countries by revenue. And then here is our daily revenue. If you think of more questions that you want to ask of your data set, you could always go back to update your prompts. You could also use the natural language processing bar at the top here and ask a question of your data. For instance, which products sold the most? So the data tab will open and we can see the steps that AI took to generate this answer. So it's limited to 1, but I think I want to see the top 5 products that sold, so I'll change that limit to 5. And then we could go into the visualization tab, and here you can select how you want to visualize your data. Knowi has over 40 different kinds of visualizations, so you can really customize it based on your needs. And that AI recommendations widget is one of those visualization options here. I'll go ahead and add that to my dashboard. And you can rearrange these widgets and reshape them and drag them around to make your dashboard look pretty. So once you've got your dashboard looking the way you want, you could choose to share it as a scheduled report. So this would attach the dashboard as a PDF. And you could turn on instant sites and AI generated recommendations. And then when you set up the email, you could put the token embed recommendations. And now in the body of your report message, we'll have a list of AI generated findings and recommendations based on all of the widgets on the dashboard. And you could also have this report integrated with email, Slack, or Teams. You can also set up alerts, so these could be defined by thresholds or anomaly detections. And you could also get instant insights for each widget. These include bottom values, summaries, and high values. And you could add those instant sites as a widget to the dashboard as well. So that's how easily you can go from a data source to a fully built dashboard in Knowi.